So, yesterday you said that Parker Solar Probe is going one way, PUNCH is going the other way. Actually, we're going to the same place.
Ah, very good.
Yes. And you see in the subtitle there, this is basically the challenge for us, that by the next minimum, we would have almost closed the problem of solar wind. And I think if you think of it, the amount of progress that we've made over the last few years is tremendous. And I think we can do it. There are things that Parker Solar Probe can do that no other spacecraft can do, but we also need help. And then I'll show some examples here. So, but officially, Parker Solar Probe, as of December of last year, it is the closest human-made object to a star ever. That's what we built the spacecraft for. It did it. The spacecraft is extremely healthy. It can go on for years and years and years, but that's up to NASA if they want to extend it. So anyway, we are talking about the corona and the complexity and everything. And CMEs, and yesterday you said that your requirement is to observe only 3 CMEs, right? For success. You will observe way more. And let me give you something that you will love. This is what we are seeing with Parker Solar Probe. Just one example. Is the audio working?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did I one before it?
Yeah, it is this one.
You have sound?
Yeah, there's sound.
Good. So we can play it later if you want to. What we are seeing with the CME, and actually Parker Solar Probe flew through so many of them. And if you go back a few years back, we thought we understand the structure of CMEs. But the amount of complexity we are seeing now is totally unprecedented. And in particular, when Parker Solar Probe is flying through them, first of all, the field of view is limited. And when you get closer and closer of them, we are only seeing parts of them. PUNCH will step in there and give us the full picture there, that we can link things and how. There is another aspect to it, I will come back to it later. Also with Parker Solar Probe, the orbit is changing so much. And WISPR in particular turns into a local imager that we don't know we don't know precisely where structures are lying in depth. With PUNCH, we can do that. And that will allow us to characterize the dynamics of the structure, where they are going, what they are doing, etc. Another thing I thought about it, I'm going to show you some data that probably nobody have seen outside the Parker Solar Probe team. This is data that came just 2 or 3 weeks ago from the closest approach. And we think about the corona that is complex, but the amount of complexity that we are going to see here is totally impressive. Look at the dynamic there. Okay. It's just out of this world. I mean, it's really fascinating. But let me play it again. This is nice. It's just yeah. Look at it.
Wow.
Yeah. And by the way, this data is not public, so please. Russ yesterday actually talked about this movie here. Look at the collision between CMEs over there. Look at them. No. Fascinating.
See that.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm saying that we can do so many things together, that it's going to change. Another thing that really we need PUNCH here. We need PUNCH, and when Parker Solar Probe is when it is flying through structures, we are measuring the plasma locally, but obviously we don't see them. For example, this is an example from a paper by Mihir Desai that is just got accepted. It will be out pretty soon. We are observing local reconnection. And we are observing how particles are being accelerated to very high energies, proton accelerated to 400 keV. That's totally unprecedented, except that we don't know what are the structures that we are flying through. Because WISPR at that time cannot see them. Because spacecraft is flying through them, PUNCH can see them. We want to do this. And Parker Solar Probe was observing so many of them. And they can keep going on what we can do together. But this is, I think this summarizes the whole thing. So Parker Solar Probe covered the whole ascending phase of the solar cycle to the maximum. We will continue with PUNCH to cover the rest of the solar maximum, but we will go to the minimum. And we will see the corona, how the corona changes from the near chaotic state that we are in now to a more organized state. And with that, I think we can solve the problem of the solar.